Good evening from Raleigh, North Carolina. I am at Bedford, my favorite neighborhood in Raleigh. Almost seems like a separate city. But anyway, I wanted to talk about old time radio again. And I wanted to talk about, if you will, the adventures of Sam Spade. Alright, well, first of all, if you're familiar with the character Sam Spade, and you're likely familiar with the character Sam Spade from what? The Maltese Falcon, right? Obviously, that role was made famous by Humphrey Bogart, right? Well, understand that they did, if you will, decide to make that movie into, if you will, into a radio series, The Adventures of Sam Spade. Of course, Maltese Falcon, and these types of things. This was obviously the brainchild of Dashiell Hammett, along with along with the Thin Man, and also something a little bit older, the Continental Ops. Excuse me. And by the way, I think Lux actually had made Maltese Falcon, because a lot of times they would replay these movies on the radio. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure why. I know this is true because I own it. But Edward G. Robinson actually played Sam Spade in the Lux version of Maltese Falcon, and actually there was an Academy Awards version on the radio too. That was actually played by Humphrey Bogart. Anyway, so the Adventures of Sam Spade. The Adventures of Sam Spade kind of uses two characters that were from, if you will, the movie, the Maltese Falcon. So, obviously, Sam Spade and Effie Perrine. Now, Effie Perrine, if I'm not mistaken, was played by Lorraine Tuttle throughout, the life of the old time radio show, which was on, I think, ABC and NBC. So at any rate, that was, if you will, that was throughout, if you will, the entirety, of the life of the show. Now, Howard Duff played most of them, I think from 46 to 50, but guess what? 1950, you have the age of McCarthyism, right? And Howard Duff was caught up in that. And so he was kind of blacklisted. And so he was kind of thrown off. You may actually be familiar with Howard Duff in Murder, She Wrote, because he was actually in one of those, at least in one of those episodes. But, and you'll also see him in stuff like the 0 Hour and in some later stuff, But at any rate, so basically how it goes is Sam Spade would finish, if you will, he'd call it a caper, a case, and then he would go to his secretary to dictate notes. Now, as he is dictating notes, they basically live out, the notes, the story. And so, so he is, and he's still dictating, but he's also obviously acting, the story's playing out, if you will, before your very ears in this case. And well, that's, kind of how it works, Of course, you get your fight scenes, your sucker punches, all of this stuff. Um, it's interesting. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. Sometimes you'll hear allusions, if you will, to the fact that it is on the radio show. I think there was at least one allusion to Dashiell Hammett. One allusion to the guy loves to drink a lot, and another allusion to, that it's a radio program. Don't you listen to the radio? It was a very interesting show, very tongue-in-cheek, very humorous, and and it's interesting some of the places it will go. If I am not mistaken, I think what was it, needlepoint? I think there was even a needlepoint or crochet reference that was brought in there. Dancing. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. Some of the things, and I believe that Howard Duff probably brought the most to the role. I loved his humor, the richness, if you will, of his voice. Stephen Dunn, and I believe I talked about when I was talking about The Saint, where for me, the radio version of The Saint was Vincent Price, although I could tolerate, if you will, Tom Conway and others. Man, the Stephen Dunn ones were just tough for me to listen to. I just thought that Howard Duff was definitely made for that role. I personally preferred Howard Duff, if you will, as Sam Spade, more than I did even, boy, we're about to hear it. Well, if anyone's listening to this, more than I did even Humphrey Bogart. I thought the chemistry was best between him and Lorraine Tuttle. I thought the chemistry was great between him and Lieutenant Dundee. I don't know. I just thought it was a much better. I thought that was the best, if you will, incarnation, if you will, of the show. It does keep very much a hard-boiled feel, which is, obviously what they tried to do. Now, I do know that Effie Perrine was substituted. I can't remember the actress who was filled in as secretary. I guess Lorraine Tuttle was on vacation. And I couldn't quite figure out what the deal was with her, because I'm trying to think, maybe she was supposed to be an American, but she often sounded like she had, if you will, a working class British accent. So I'm not sure what was going on there. But man, did I love that love letter caper, the Adam and Eve, if you will, caper. Some of them were pretty tragic, I love the tagline, goodbye, sweetheart. He would also say that, if you will, to Lorraine, to Effie Perrine, obviously played by Lorraine Tuttle. I don't know. My guess is this is another big one that you should be familiar with, but if you're not, I suggest you check out a few of them. I think that's all I want to say for now. So take care and bye-bye.